Running a hotel or restaurant, it sometimes feels like you're chasing that one perfect menu item, right? That magic bullet.
Oh, definitely. The pressure is always there.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into some maybe slightly different thinking. We're looking at insights from Maurice. He's a real expert in hospitality, especially food and beverage.
Right. And he draws inspiration from some fascinating places.
Exactly. We're going to explore how things like Bhutanese cooking and even ethnography, believe it or not, can offer really practical lessons for you, for your business, if you're an owner or manager listening.
Yeah, it's all based on Maurice's reflections, and he starts with this idea about culinary diversity, using Bhutanese food as an example.
Okay, Bhutanese cuisine. What's the specific dish?
Imadachi. It's their national dish. Basically a chili and cheese stew.
Sounds straightforward enough.
Well, that's the thing Maurice highlights. It sounds simple, but there isn't just one way to make it. He says, each family has its own version. Different chilies, different cheeses, different techniques.
Ah, so the variations are the point, not finding the single authentic one.
Precisely. So the lesson for owners, Maurice suggests, is maybe stop chasing that one perfect recipe. Embrace the diversity within even a single dish concept. Each version tells a story.
Okay, I see. So instead of stressing about the ultimate burger, maybe offer a classic, a spicy version, a local twist.
Exactly. Leverage those variations. It caters to more people, makes things more interesting. Maurice actually suggests practical things like cooking workshops,
Workshops, how would that work?
like featuring different chefs or even home cooks sharing their cultural take on something familiar. Think about all the different ways people make curry or tacos or couscous around the world.
That's a great idea. Or even just on the menu, like you said, multiple risottos, classic, veggie, maybe one with local ingredients. It shows depth.
It really does. And this ties into Maurice's next point, which is about how culinary knowledge gets passed down. It's like a living
A
heritage.
living heritage. How
Mm.
so?
He uses the story of someone named Kiba learning to make imadachi from family. It's not just a recipe, it's a connection, past to present. A family treasure, really.
That makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About the history behind your own restaurant's dishes. Who created them?
Yeah.
How have they evolved?
Mm-hmm. And our chefs become the guardians of that history, in a way.
So how do we nurture that as owners?
Well, Maurice has ideas there too, like mentorship programs, pairing experienced chefs with younger ones, sharing those little tricks, the why behind the method, not just the steps.
Things you don't find in a recipe book.
Exactly. And speaking of books, he also suggests maybe compiling your signature recipes or regional specialties into like a house cookbook.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea. For gifting or even selling. It shares the legacy.
Yeah. Then Maurice brings in this concept of ethnography.
Ethnography. Okay, that sounds a bit academic. What's the connection to restaurants?
Well, think of ethnographers like Malinowski studying cultures by immersing themselves, right? Living alongside people to understand them.
Right. Participant observation.
So Maurice says, restaurateurs can use that mindset. Immerse yourself in your customers' lives, their culture, to really get what they want. It's deeper than just feedback forms.
So step out from behind the counter
Yeah.
and observe. Understand their habits.
Exactly. Their expectations, why they choose certain foods, who they eat with. It's about understanding the context of their dining choices.
How you do that practically, though?
Maurice suggests things like maybe organizing diner events, get customers talking about their home eating habits, what do they cook, why. It reveals a lot.
Wow, that's direct. Kind of like a focus group, but more personal.
Yeah, more qualitative, and also just analyzing local trends. What's popular nearby? What are visitors asking for? What ingredients keep popping up? What formats work quick bites, long dinners?
That makes sense. Using observation skills in your own environment.
And building on that understanding, Maurice talks about cultural immersion for inspiration. Real deep inspiration.
Like, you want to do authentic Japanese food.
You probably need to spend some time in Japan, right? He uses that example. Reading recipes isn't enough to capture the essence, the soul of the cuisine.
You need that firsthand experience, the smells, the tastes, seeing how it's done there.
Precisely. So the practical takeaway is maybe investing in that. Culinary internships, focus trips for your team, even a short immersion can be powerful.
Or collaborating with local experts.
Definitely. Working with local chefs or artisans who have that ancestral knowledge, that's another path Maurice mentions.
Now, what about technology? Does that fit in?
It does. Maurice points out that even ethnographers use tech now, videos, photos, and for restaurants, tech can really enhance the storytelling.
How so? Beyond just online ordering.
Think behind-the-scenes videos, show the kitchen buzz, introduce your suppliers, tell their stories visually.
Oh, I like that. Makes it more human, more transparent.
Yeah. Or using QR codes on the menu.
QR codes. To link to what?
To more info about the dish, its origin story, maybe a simplified recipe, a video of the technique. It adds layers, engages curious customers.
That's clever. Using tech to deepen the experience, not just for efficiency.
Mm-hmm. And underlying all this, Maurice brings up empathy, which sounds soft, maybe. But he stresses how vital it is.
Empathy. Really listening to customers.
Truly listening, understanding their needs, being flexible, adapting your offering. It's about connection, not just transaction.
Building that relationship, that loyalty.
Exactly. And practically, he suggests things like focus groups actually asking customers for feedback on dishes, on service.
And offering customization.
Yes. Letting people adapt dishes to their tastes, their dietary needs. It shows you're listening, you care. That builds strong bonds.
Okay, so we've covered diversity, heritage, understanding customers through ethnography, immersion, tech, empathy. What else?
Innovation and creativity. Maurice draws a parallel with how ethnographers sometimes have to be creative in their approach. He says, bring that same spirit into the kitchen.
Dare to surprise people.
Yeah, don't just follow trends, create unique experiences. Innovation comes from imagination, he suggests.
So what would that look like in practice?
Maybe immersive events where customers actually get involved in prep, or themed cultural menus that really dive deep.
Fun. Or he mentioned telling stories through the food itself.
Right, like that example of a dessert representing a sunrise, using colors, textures, maybe even temperature contrasts to evoke a feeling or a scene. It's playful, memorable.
Which brings us to the final point, really.
Yeah.
Narration and presentation.
The power of stories. Just like in ethnography, a good narrative captivates. In a restaurant, a great story combined with beautiful presentation.
It elevates the whole meal. It's not just food anymore.
Exactly. Marie suggests adding little anecdotes to the menu. Where did this dish come from? What's special about this ingredient?
And paying attention to the plating, obviously.
Right.
The visuals.
Absolutely. Colors, shapes, textures, maybe even thinking about sound, the ambiance. It all contributes to transforming a simple meal into something, unforgettable.
So wrapping this up, the big message from Maurice, inspired by Bhutan and ethnography, seems to be cuisine is way more than just recipes.
It's alive. It's full of tradition, stories, people, connections. It's this whole ecosystem.
And for you, the owner listening, tapping into that richness, the diversity, the heritage, the customer insights, the storytelling, that's how you can really enrich what you do.
It's about creating those genuinely memorable experiences, using food and beverage as the medium that make people feel connected and want to come back. Inspired by Maurice's deep dive.
So here's a thought to leave you with. Think about one part of your operation right now. Could be the menu, could be staff training, could be customer interaction. Where could you bring in a deeper understanding of culture or history or just the human stories behind it all?
And what might happen if you did? What surprising results could you unlock?